present everyone. Success is no accident. It is hard work, perseverance, learning, sacrifice, and most of all, love of what you're doing or love of what you're learning to do. A very warm welcome to one and all gathered here. My name is Ajita Chalam, and I welcome you all to the webinar on Life Skills for Success. On behalf of Accounting and Finance Department, I extend my special greetings to our beloved chief guest, Ms. Christy Starina, and our beloved HOD, Dr. Gayatri Harikumar, and all our faculty members and my dear students of Accounting and Finance Department. The function of prayer is not to influence God, but rather to change the nature of one who prays. I request Vinodini to render a college prayer.
Vinodini,
she is not unmuted.
Unmute and say nothing is heard.
Please unmute me.
शुभ कर मन ते कबहू न डरूं अरे सो जब जाए न डरूं अरे सो जब जाए डरूं निश्चय कर अपनी जीत करूं निश्चय कर अपनी जीत करूं निश्चय कर अपनी जीत करूं देश वागर होए शुभ कर मन दे कबहू न डरो हर सिख हो अपने ही मन को हर सिख हो अपने ही मन को एहरारच हो गुण तो चरो एहरारच हो गुण तो चरो एहरारच हो गुण तो चरो देश वागर होए शुभ कर मन ते कबहू न डरूं जब आपकी औदनीदार बने जब आपकी औदनीदार बने अतहीरन मैं तब जूझ मरूं अतहीरन मैं तब जूझ मरूं देश वागर होए शुभ कर मन ते कबहू न डरो देश वागर होए शुभ कर मन ते कबहू न डरो शुभ कर मन ते कबहू न डरो शुभ कर मन ते कबहू न डरो
Thank you, Vinodini, for the college prayer. Now I request our beloved head of the department, Dr. Gayatri Harikumar, to introduce our chief guest to the gathering.
Good afternoon to everyone present here. My special thanks to the invited speaker of the day, Christy Starina. To introduce about her, she has a very rich profile, so I am not going to give a very big elaborate introduction. I'm very impressed with her sports side, so I'm going to talk much of those achievements now. So today, the invited speaker of today's event, that is the webinar on life skills for success. The invited speaker and the guest is Christy Starina. She is a superintendent of GST and Central Excise, Tamil Nadu zone. Her achievement, she has graduated from Ethraj College for Women, and her achievements are aplenty. To name a few, she has represented Tamil Nadu in Open Nationals, interstate athletic competitions for 8 consecutive years, and was a medalist in long jump and relay from the year 1988 to 1994. I think you kiddos would have not been born also. So please, you can talk to ma'am and take a lot of inputs from her. And she's represented Central Excise Department in All India Revenue Sports from 1991 to 2005 in regular category and won medals in long jump and 100 meters sprint. She represented Tamil Nadu in Masters Nationals for the past 3 years and won gold medals in long jump, triple jump, and 4 into 100 meter relay in women's category, 45 plus, in women 45 plus category. She has represented India in the Asian Masters meet at Singapore in 2016 and won a gold medal in triple jump and bronze medal in long jump event. She represented India in the Asian Masters meet at China in September 2017 and won gold medal in 4 into 100 relay, silver medal in triple jump, and a bronze medal in long jump. She has represented India at the World Masters meet at Perth, Australia in 2016 and was placed 4th in triple jump. She represented India at the Asian Masters meet at Sarawak in Malaysia in December 2019 and won a gold medal in triple jump event. She was selected for the Masters meet to be held at Toronto, Canada in July 2020. But I think due to these COVID conditions, she was not able to travel to that place. But I think she has gone to almost all the east and west of the entire globe. And we're really proud to have you here, ma'am. And I'm going to keep one final quiz question here after this webinar. What is the age of the invited speaker? Is she 18 or 20? Let's keep a quiz later. Okay? So I think you are outwitting your age and achieving a lot of your accolades speak for itself in sports arena. I'm extremely thankful to my husband, Mr. Hari Kumar, for helping me arrange and get you as a resource person for the day. And I'm really happy and thankful. And I thank our General Secretary and Correspondent of the Guru Nanak College and the Principal, Dr. M.G. Raghunathan, and the Vice Principal, Dr. Rajeshri, for permitting us to conduct this webinar, online webinar today, because it is going to be a very useful topic that will be useful for our final year students especially. So I hope that this interaction will give them enriching experience and will leave them spellbound. Thank you, ma'am. I have take pleasure in inviting you. Thank you for the accepting the offer and coming in. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the introduction, ma'am. I am feeling energized right now as you talk about our chief guest. So without further ado, as I am a final year student, I'm also very much into what looking forward to what you're going to speak. So without further ado, I'll give away the gathering to you. Please, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. So, respected correspondent, principal of Guru Nanak College, teachers, and my dear students, a very good afternoon to one and all who have joined me in this webinar. At the outset, I would like to thank the principal and Gayatri ma'am, HOD of Accounting and Finance, for even considering me to be a guest in this program. I feel greatly privileged and honored. Let me be frank, I'm not at all a good speaker. Yes, I talk a lot, but I'm not good at these kind of things. You tell me to run, I will run. You tell me to call me for a competition, for jumps, I will do it. But this is not my kind of tea. I hope I do justice. Okay, so, and the students here also, you must be wondering, I think it's mandatory for you to attend this webinar. And most of you will be wondering, like, what is she going to talk about that we don't already know? So I hope I don't bug you, and I'll try to keep it short and sweet. And I think I'll just move on right away. Let me start by telling you a story. There was a girl who was born in a middle-class family of 3 girls. She was the youngest, and by nature, at a beginning stage, like when she was small, she had some health issues. Like she had asthma and wheezing. So then the family doctor told her dad, I think it's better you make her run, because when she runs, she will breathe hard. And when she breathes hard, that will help her lungs to work even harder. And in a course of time, she will get over the sickness. So there was a ground adjacent to her house. And this girl, along with other children that were there running in the evenings, started to run along with them. She kept running. In the meantime, she was a very skinny and weak person. She was teased in school. And she just went to run so that she will get well. And then when she started running, she kept running for a few months. And after a year, there was a competition in her school. You know, when you are small, you have this lemon and spoon race and 20 meters race and 30 meters race. So she took part in them. She got a small gift here, a medal there. It just went on like that. After 1 or 2 years, she kept persevering. Just as the doctor said, she went every evening. She went to school and she went in the evening to the ground. And after a year, there was an inter-school competition in her school. So then she went and took part in it. She didn't place. And later on, every year, this happened. She went for some competitions. She went for small competitions. And then one day she was selected for the district meet. And she won a medal there. And again, after 2 years, she got selected to represent state meet. She was highly thrilled because she didn't go with the intention of, participating in sports and trying to win. She just went because her dad told her to. And so one day she was representing state. She started going for national competitions. She kept working hard. She persevered. She won a few medals. And then she went on improving. She got okay in her health. And then she got offers from various places like banks and railways offering, we have these sports quota jobs. And so she went on, she got a lot of offers and then she chose the finance ministry. After that, she got a chance to represent the country and she went on to win laurels. So by now you must have guessed who this person is. Hello? Okay, you are on mute. That person is me. Okay, so that is my story in brief. And I would like to talk to you about 3 things which really helped me. 3 points. So I was a sports person and this helped me in my sporting career. But I'm very sure that this will help in your academics also. I know there are a few sports people in this group. So this is for both your sporting career and your academics, okay? I call this the 3 Ds to success: discipline, dedication, and determination. So I'm going to talk a little about this with real life incidents from my life, okay? The first point is discipline. You all know, you have been through school and now you have come into college. All of you know about it. Your mothers tell you about it. Your teachers tell you about it. Everyone talks about this. Discipline, discipline. Children, be disciplined. You all are fed up with that word, discipline. Yes, but let me tell you, this is very, very important. Discipline is very important in your life. If you want to achieve your dream or goal, discipline is very important. Okay? And this needs to be inculcated at a very young age. I'm not very proud, but I have to say that I was very disciplined right from a young age. One of the reasons was that my father was a very strict person. He was a principal of YMCA College and he made sure that I was very, very disciplined. If I did not get good grades, he will say, you can stop your sports this month because I want you to be good in sports and studies. So that was the constant push that he gave me, which made me a very disciplined person. I was the first person outside of school when the school bell rang because I had to go, get ready and be in the ground at 4:30. If I'm not there at 4:30, my coach wouldn't give me a workout. Okay, so that is how it went. I gave equal importance to studies. I gave equal importance to sports. I made sure that I was very, very disciplined. So that is a point which I want to stress to you. Between the ages of 12 and 18, I didn't achieve much at all, but I should say that I was very, very disciplined. I made sure that I did what I had to do. If my coach told me, you come at this time to this place, I was there. Okay? I made a program and I made sure I stuck to it. So you are all budding youngsters and you have a great future ahead of you. So I would encourage all of you to just stick to a schedule and be disciplined about it. It doesn't pay if you're going to, be so casual about everything in life and just a week before the exam, try to put in 14, 15 hours of study. No, it doesn't work like that. Discipline should be there and it should be, systematic, and you have to program yourself so that in the long run will help you achieve success. I encourage all the students who are listening to this talk of mine, I encourage all of you to be disciplined, and I'm sure even if you don't see the results now, in the long run, you will definitely be able to achieve success in life. The next point I would like to talk about is dedication. Dedication is equally as important as discipline. You need to be dedicated in whatever you're doing. I don't know how many of you are interested in sports people and, try to read their biographies like, Sindhu's and MS Dhoni, the great cricketers like Sachin. If you read their biographies, you will understand that they are very, very normal human beings, just like you and me. Okay, they are very, very normal. They went through the same problems. They went through the same pressures. They had difficulties in life. They also had health issues. If I remember right, Sachin had an elbow problem, and at one point of time, he almost decided to quit cricket, And so it is like that with everyone. Everyone goes through problems in life. You just need to be dedicated in whatever you're doing. See, for example, I told you, even in my life, I had to face a lot of things. As a small girl, I was very weak. Everyone tried to pick on me in school. I used to hate going to school. I used to come home and tell my mom, I don't want to go to school. Everyone always made fun of me for everything. They said I was too skinny, I was like this, I was like that. I just took it in the right spirit. I didn't allow the circumstances around me, whether it was bad or, problematic, to affect me. There were many times, in fact, in 2006, when I was doing a nationals, I hit the board a little hard. Most of you know what long jump is. You run and come from a distance of 20 to 25 meters. There's a white board, which is about 6 inches long. You try to hit the board, and there's a red line on the board, and if you stamp the red line, it's a foul. So there was just 5 centimeters difference between me and my competitor, and I really want to do well and beat her. I just had 2 jumps remaining. I hit the board a little hard. I know I went up. I don't know what happened after that. So I just fell down unconscious because I had a hairline in my spinal cord. So I had just fallen down unconscious. I was taken out in a stretcher. And when I regained consciousness, the doctor told me, he asked me what I'm doing. So I said, I'm so-and-so, and I'm a mother of 2 children. And so she told me, if you really want to give importance to your family, just forget about athletics again. This, she told me in 2006. I promised her I will never go back to the ground again. I came back. I had physiotherapy sessions. I did everything that I have to do. And after rehabilitation, I asked my doctor, can I go and do my athletics again? And he said, are you crazy? I said, I may be, but I'm very interested in doing athletics. And he said, be very, very careful. you have to strengthen. And he told me a lot of strengthening exercises and all that stuff. And then here I am still doing athletics. So what I'm trying to tell you is just be dedicated. When you are dedicated, I know life is not a bed of roses. You have your ups and downs. Everyone, all of them, whether it's a sports person or whether it is an academician, everyone goes through highs and lows, ups and downs in lives. It's how you deal with them that really matters. So I encourage all of you to be dedicated in whatever you're doing. And I assure you that you will shine in whatever you do in your career. Okay. So the last point I want to talk to you about is determination. It's not enough if you're disciplined. It's not enough if you're dedicated. You need to be very, very determined. I will tell you one example. In my sporting career, this nationals, the first nationals was when I was 20 years old. It was to be held in Calcutta in May. You know, May is the hottest month of the year. Just 4 weeks before the competition, I felt a little giddy and I was feeling a little uneasy. So my coach told me, just go and take a medical checkup. So I did this hemoglobin count test, and it was seen that my HB levels was 9.8. Even a normal woman should have a HB of at least 12. So immediately when I showed the test to my coach said, it's impossible for you to compete in any competitions. Just forget about going for this nationals. But I had trained so hard for this competition. I begged my coach and I said, I promise you that I will not strain. I promise you that I will not overdo. But since this is my first national appearance, let me go. On one side, I know that I'm physically down. On the other side, I'm totally tense because this is my first nationals and I have to be competing with athletes from 26 other states. 2 from each state is chosen. So you can imagine it was a lot of pressure for me. I was just 20, but I had to compete with people who were 26 years also. Those days, we did not have age category. It was under 18 and straight away to women's section. So here I go. 9.8 HB count, but I know that I've trained hard. I put my faith in God and I just go. I'm seeing all my competitors around me. You know, we have a lot of psyching things going on in the ground, you know, before the finals. Sports people will be able to know. They will clap the thighs and do all sorts of things, you know, to put you down. And all that is happening around me. I'm so tired just warming up. So there's a tree there and I'm resting under the tree. I know that if there is a headwind, I'm fine. So I'm just praying, God, let it be fine. Please let it be. The wind should be with me when I go for the approach. And in my second jump, I did 5.95 meters, which is my career best. That happened when I was physically down and the doctor had told me not to train for 2 months. So that is the determination that I had to succeed. So this is just an example to tell you, be determined in whatever you do. And I'm sure you all can shine. You can achieve whatever life has in store for you. Just because there were many defeats for me in the course of my athletic career, I never allowed anything to stop me. Nothing prevented me. I have lost so many times. At one nationals, after so much training, I go and I foul all the 3 jumps. You have to make one good jump to be selected for the next 3. After so much training, I go and foul all the 3 jumps. At the entrance itself, I got it from my dad. He said, what a waste you are. You spent all that money, you went, and what a disappointment you are. So many times I've gone through such trying moments. For example, I went to Perth. I was selected for the world meet. I had already seen who are the competitors with me. I had seen how much they are jumping, and I was so confident that I could win a medal. But I lost by 2 centimeters. So I think most of you here know how much 2 centimeters is. I cried for a whole month. All my friends around me said, I think you should concentrate more on family. It's just too much pressure for you. I think you should stop. I was 40 years that time. I felt so bad, but I still said, let me try. And the next competition was in China where I won 3 medals. So I hope whatever I'm saying is of some use to you, and it is some encouragement to you, girls and boys. Don't think that it is the end. Nothing is the end, okay? Failures are stepping stones to success. It doesn't mean that if you lose today, you're going to lose forever. Be confident about yourself and do your best. A word to all the teachers here. I know you all are doing an amazing job. I know sometimes you feel that, it's such a thankless job. I know there's so much pressure. You need to show performance, and you are graded according to the performance of the students, which is so unfair. But let me tell you, you are the pillars of this institution. Please carry on the good work, and you are the role model for every student in your class. I want to encourage all the teachers here and to all the bosses of this institution. Please encourage your students. It is not enough if they only study. Like in school, they taught you about a balanced diet. You need to have proteins, carbohydrates, and fats in equal amounts. It's the same here. It's not enough if you study and score brilliant marks. No, you need to take care of your body also. You need to be equally balanced. You go and do some sort of outdoor activity. I know with COVID and everything, you were all trapped in your homes. And now in such a fast-paced world with WhatsApp and everything, videos, movies, everything coming on your screen, it is in the palm of your hand. I know everything is distracting. When you're 40, all of you have to rush. I'm seeing now so many of my colleagues and friends, they are so glued to their work, and then they say, I'm sick, I'm supposed to take medication for life. So I just want a small word of advice. Please encourage your students to involve in some outdoor activity. Encourage them to do some sports or the other. It doesn't have to be athletics. It can even be cycling. It can be shuttle, some indoor games, something. You need to let go of the stress and tension of studies by doing some outdoor activity. And finally, to all the students here, you are the future of tomorrow. More than the marks and the medals and more than your achievements, I think character means a lot. Okay? So this is my advice to you. Please develop on your morals, ethics, and values. I am very happy to say that my school taught me good morals, values, and ethics, and that is what has brought me till this date. I encourage all of you all, please respect your elders, be loving, share, above all, be good human beings. Okay? That is what matters in the long run. You will shine. And don't give up on your dreams. Okay? Dare to dream, dare to achieve. The sky is the limit for you all. You are all going to shape tomorrow. So I want to encourage all of you all. Don't be disheartened by failures, because failures are stepping stones to success. You may not be the best and most intelligent person. I was a very mediocre student. In fact, in 11th, I had taken science, and all the time I had competitions. I could not do the record work. My teachers were shouting, and it was havoc in Church Park. And then one day my dad took me to the principal and said, she's not able to manage science, to the principal. And she said, okay, I can give her commerce. My father was stunned and I was shocked. I said, what? In 1 year, what will I do? But it is just the determination and the confidence that my principal had in me. I still got 85% in my board exams. So what I'm trying to tell you is, don't aim for 100%. Yes, it is good. Gayatri ma'am, please don't get angry with me.
No, please, they know me. I tell this man.
Yes, you strive to do the best. Yes, but above all, try to inculcate good habits and character, which is more important. I assure you, if you're disciplined, dedicated, and determined, you can definitely achieve success. Believe in yourself. Have trust and confidence in yourselves. And you do your best and God will do the rest. Okay? So I hope I have covered everything. And I want to say, have this never give up attitude. Just one thing I forgot to mention. Actually, what I have represented India is in the masters category. Masters means after 30, you're called a master athlete. In 1994, I had the selection trials for the South Asian Federation Games. I missed by 2 centimeters. I missed getting a regular India by 2 centimeters. And the saddest part was my competitor's coach was the official measuring the long jump. Okay? I couldn't go and stand there and see what he's doing. But it happened that my competitor won by 2 centimeters. It was the saddest day of my life because everything led to that. I had trained so hard. It was really sad. It was, even today when I think of it, I just burst out crying. But I didn't let that stop me. I continued, and after 1994, I was 24. And my first Indian medal came when I was 35 years old. So, you know how long I had to wait for a medal. So I just wanted to encourage all of y'all, please don't give up. The sky is the limit. And I hope and pray that all of you come out as great shining stars and do your best for our country and your families and bring laurels to your institution. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Ajita, before you could start, I just want to make this mark. I don't know about others, but I was awestruck and it has left me teary-eyed because the journey that you were telling about your athletic coaching styles in your childhood, I was imagining all that, and it was like watching a fantasy movie of a woman, because see, there might be many great athletes all over the world, but when a person expert like you shares their experiences, only we also get that connect. And moreover, like it was like a fantasy movie for me, imagining those days of yours, you running in that posture and you are comparing to Vijay's master movie or a masterclass woman. Then that's what I will say, and I will leave the mic to Ajita. She will carry on.
Oh my God, thank you, ma'am. I mean, I really hope that every student who is watching here your story is a big inspiration for us. I really needed this story because, in this lockdown, in this pandemic, I have been, confused with every single thought, every single decision in my life. And I'm in my final year, and your words, these 3 words, discipline, dedication, and determination. I think this just suffices everything, what we need to achieve in our lives. And, like you got a medal in your 35, the first medal. Just one day, you can just give up in a day, but you did not. You just went trying, right? And that's what we all have to do. So
my children say I'm crazy to be running at this age, but it's just the passion that I have.
Exactly. And this passion is going to inspire many students like us. It really inspired me to go on. So
we didn't have good facilities those days. We had, the track was not good. My dad was a single learning member. I couldn't go to him for anything. But nowadays, anything, you just click Amazon, everything under the sun is there. Exactly. You have so much of facilities. it's not only sports, I'm talking about your careers. You click Google, we had to go to a dictionary which was kept in the top corner of the cupboard and take and see clarifications and meanings. You have everything at the click of a
Exactly.
button.
We just have everything, and we just
Yes.
need to have that passion and that spark
Yes.
to, go to the things which we need. And I hope you are a spark to everyone who is seeing right now.
Yes,
So
I hope so.
I just have this small question. So
Yes.
I know that you had this passion and the determination to go on. Did you have any role model or any personality to to go ahead, or it is just you? It's you, and you just need to go to it.
My dad was the biggest motivation. He himself was a sports person. He was an amazing basketball player. He was a football player, and he was an athlete also. So I just looked up to him. But there was at one time a situation where my dad's sister told him, she's a girl child, don't leave her into the sports field. She will just run off with someone.
That's ridiculous.
At one point, my dad had to think twice. But since I was getting a few medals, he thought, okay, let her do till 9th standard. So by then, I had got a few medals in district competitions. So then he was an athlete, so he was able to understand and encourage me. Other than that, PT Usha. I really admired PT Usha. She was my biggest motivation.
That's great. Okay,
Yeah.
because we really need that inner circle motivation and support to achieve things. So
Yes.
I'm glad. Okay, so thank you so much. I'm really energized. I really, I don't do long jumps. I'm a volleyball player, but I really want to run right now. I'm feeling
Oh,
happy.
that's nice. Okay, okay.
Okay, so there are many students here. My friends are here, so I'll just give the floor to them. Guys,
Yeah.
if you have any questions to ma'am, you can, unmute yourself and ask. Oh, sir. Yes, sir, you can go ahead if you have anything to say. Come on.
Mute, unmute. Hari, unmute, Hari. Unmute.
Unmute. Ah.
So please
Gayatri, he is not. He's unmute panle
Not
Hari.
heard. Yeah, now you can talk now.
Hari. Hari.
Not heard. Not heard.
Ah,
Not
okay.
heard. You can take off his headphone.
Hari.
Not
Okay.
heard.
Hari. Mute panirka Hari. Kikla Hari. Kikla. 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 Talk now. Hari, I didn't hear anything that you spoke.
Good evening to you.
Good evening.
Thank you for your excellent speech. It was very motivating, very
Okay.
inspirational. For all, I think, for all the students also, you've given a great shot. Just one question to you. I would like to know more about, the coach behind the scene who has been
Okay,
great support to you.
yes.
I would like to know something about the coach who has been behind your success.
Oh, sure, sir. Sorry, I didn't mention this. I'm married to the fastest man in India in 1992. Okay, so he is a 100-meter sprinter. I met him in the YMCA grounds, and after much problems and difficulties, my dad finally agreed. So he is the support, he is the pillar. I mean, he is one awesome person. He's dedicated his whole life. He takes me to the ground. I'm very cranky at times, especially off late, because age is catching up and demands at home, office. You have to multitask. It's not easy, I have to go to the ground. I have to finish all the work at home. I have to sit in office. I cannot tell them, hey, I'm a sports person, so I will not work. And now after GST implementation, work is so strenuous. And I'm in the officer cadre. So lots and lots of changes and, so many things I have to deal with. But he is the pillar and he supports me 100%. And he has coached me since 1994 till date. And I should say a big thanks, because most of them, they all come, colleagues of mine, they come and say, my husband doesn't, adjust with my timings. I'm not able to take care of the family. I'm not able to come to the ground. But never once has he told me, no, I'm too tired to take you. Wherever it is, see, we didn't have a synthetic track. I think what a synthetic track is, the one that is in Nehru Stadium. We don't have one here in Pondicherry. So he used to take me just to practice there. In the weekends, he used to take me, book a hotel, put me there, do it in the weekend and bring me back just before the Asian meets and all. I need synthetic track training because my competitors from China and Japan, they look like 20-year-olds. They have those flat abs, unbelievably fit. So I cannot just, practice, run from here to there and try and win a medal in the Asian. It's very, very strenuous, and long jump is a technical event. You need speed, you need power, and you need the technicality of the event. So all three in one. So I had to do weight training, I had to run, and I had to do jumps. And especially after that hairline crack in the spinal cord, I have to be very, very careful how I jump, because if I'm going to strain it again, I don't know, I don't want to think negative. So I had to be very careful, and it's not easy. A lot of sacrifices my family has made, and full credit to my husband.
That was really nice. One small thing. You will not reveal your age, because that's a question that is going to be asked at the end of the session. Okay? You can go around, but you will not tell. Okay.
I think everybody will take their calculators and, calculate according to the year and, guess an age.
As accounting and finance students, you should be doing it smart enough.
I think I gave a clue, right? I gave a clue.
Yeah. You have given years. That's given many. We have done. Yes, smart students would have done. I think all the 100 would have done. All are smart students. Sajita, you can moderate.
Yes. Okay, guys, anybody have any questions to ma'am? You can go ahead. You can unmute yourself and ask questions.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
My name is Siddharth, and I'm a cricketer, and I play for a college team.
Okay.
So, as a cricketer, as a bowler, it's very easy for me to bowl the initial overs. I mean, I am given the opening overs as I'm a fast bowler, and I always bowl the opening bowling for our college. But, there's no pressure in it. But when you bowl the final over in a heated up match, and when we are being chased and all that, that pressure, that moment, that battle in your head, that pressure handling thing, how do you do that? Like, say that there is only 7 runs for us to defend, and the batsman is playing really well, and the things.
Yes, I can understand. It's a very, very difficult question. I don't know how to answer about cricket. You must ask Gayatri ma'am's husband.
Yes, ma'am, I get it. But
I know the pressure. See, when that girl, it's very difficult. It comes with practice over a period of time. Okay. Especially, see, it's the same, like how you say in the final over, you shouldn't crack, that is what, but how do I cope up with it? It's the same for me. When that one person, your competitor is just 2 centimeters ahead of you, and you can do it. You've done better than her in so many of your practice jumps. It is your attitude and how you train during practice. See, just before the international competitions, my husband tells me, you think that you are in that place and this is your final jump. So maybe that will give you some clue as how to deal with it. Every time you practice, you put that as your competition, and maybe that will help you fine tune your anxiety, panic, all that. But I'm like every normal human being. I have so much of anxiety the day before the competition. I cannot sleep. I'll be running and rerunning everything. All that happens. It is like that for everyone. We are all human beings. What matters is you shouldn't choke in the final, the final moments. You shouldn't choke. That is what sets apart Sachin and MS Dhoni from the rest, right? So that comes with practice.
Okay, ma'am.
So, ma'am, I think for equating this point to the academic agenda, I think the students, when they are going for their final big interview, they should have practiced enough. They should have gained knowledge, practiced enough. That's how they can reduce their anxiety and crack the interview. Right? Can we equate like that?
Yes. Yes.
So
See, ma'am, what you're saying is correct. For example, if I have practiced well, I go in confidently to a competition. But when I haven't practiced, once I got an injury in the ligament behind my right knee, right is my takeoff leg. So because I used it a lot and I didn't strengthen it properly, and there was a competition immediately after that, I couldn't train well. I got a slight pull, a ligament pull it's called. I was not sure about myself. That time there was a lot more anxiety. When you are not confident, see, when you solve your sums, when ma'am gives you some homework, you just finish that and you go to bed, it doesn't help at all. You need to be doing similar sums, one or two more. And then when the next day, when you have a sudden test or a, unit test or something, you can just, it will be cool for you if you practice, don't try to do anything last minute. It doesn't work out at all, it's just fluke. You may or you may not do. There is always a guessing work, but if you really train hard, if you've really given it your all, you can be very sure of success.
So I think it all comes to that 3 Ds: discipline, determination, and dedication. Nice. Next question, Ajita.
Yes. Anyone else? Anyone else have any question?
Christy, ma'am, to continue and on your point, we do have a very dedicated team of A&F staff here. So, and we are all constant role models for our students. And as you said, it is a very nice job. Our students climb up the ladder. We will see, but we are happy with this profession. And I'll introduce at the end of the session. You please take the questions.
Good evening, ma'am. I'm Vinodini.
I can't hear, ma. Can you be louder, ma?
Okay. Now, can you hear me, ma'am?
Vinodini, it's heard, but it's very feeble. Can you increase the volume, whatever it is?
Okay, just a minute, ma'am. Now, is it okay, ma'am? Am I audible?
Yeah, but very soft, soft voice.
Good evening. I'm Vinodini.
Yes.
My question to you is, as you said, your whole story, it was like a movie, to be honest.
Yep.
Like how Ajita said and Churi ma'am said. My question is you really had a struggle one, but still an amazing career in sports. How you ended up being a superintendent in GST?
See, I did well. I told you I got in 3-4 places job offers in railways, banks, and in customs department. So I even now I think you have sports quota, jobs on sports quota. So I had won the nationals. So in all the applications, they filtered mine. And since I was a medalist in the national, I got the appointment in Central Excise Department, which is now called GST.
So, but you need not take any competitive exam. You will get on your national.
Yeah, based on my performance.
Once
I went in, I had to do a small exam.
Okay.
Right. Anyone else have any questions?
Good evening. This is Sai Krishna. Ma'am, first you just told that you are not a good speaker, but while expressing the thoughts that you told that it was very emotional when you lost by 2 centimeters. It was very emotional for us. You expressed yourself in the speech, ma'am. Even we got emotional at that time. My question is, there is some common myth about your profession or that field you wanted to debunk. Which is the?
Tell me.
Ma'am, my question is, there will be some myth about athletics which you wanted to debunk. What is that, ma'am?
usually super strong people, all those who take these, you get those, what do you call that? Whey protein. Have you people heard of whey protein and Nutrilite and all those things? People who have all those kind of, going to the gym every day and having bulk and muscle and eating all those kind of foods, non-veg every day, only those kind of people can perform. I think that was not there in my case. My dad didn't buy any such things for me. I just had normal food. I simply believe that it was my hard work and God's grace that put me where I am today. And my husband had only curd rice, tair sadam and sambar sadam.
Tair sadam is the food of the South, ma'am.
Yes,
Don't undermine here.
Yes, yeah. Of course, now the whole trend is changing. Most of them are going into, wrong practices, using drugs, which I totally disagree. Performance enhancing substances, which are not good at all and which has so many side effects in the long run. I could have taken the shortcut. I still remember my dad's friend was a coach in North India. He had come down on a holiday and he said, Christy, you're running so well, you're jumping very well, but you look absolutely weak. I will write one medicine and give. This medicine, all the athletes in the Indian camp are having it. They are mixing in the bucket and having it. You just have for a month. You will have muscle mass and you can perform better. I told him, sir, you know my father and you know me and you're telling me to take drugs. Sorry, sir, thank you. So there are no shortcuts to success. I would advise everyone here, whether it is sports or whether it is studies, please do not take any shortcut route to success because it is never permanent.
Superb. It looks like we should give a standing ovation at the end of the program. We are moved. And as Sai Krishna told, the 2 centimeters difference in life, we could only imagine in these kind of situations because it was such an immaterial thing for all of us. But when you told about all these differences and small differences that make a big change in life. And so if you could continue this question with the diet pattern for the youngsters, how our Indian food is good, or what you want to say about diet
for the sports people or for in
for
general?
youngsters, because many of them are adolescents and adults.
If I say something, they're going to hate me for it. I will say no junk food. Both my daughters hate me when I say no junk food. What to do? Because junk food is not at all good and it makes you gain weight in all the inappropriate places. Simple. A balanced diet, mostly of fruits, veggies, and proteins is the best. I would advise you all to follow that. It's okay once in a while if you go to a party, and have all sorts of variated drinks and all that. That is okay once in a way, but don't make it a pattern to eat out, and outside local places, where they have used oil and we don't know what spices they use. Better you have lots of salads, especially we have in Chennai 10 months of summer and just 2 months of winter. I would encourage all of you to have good snacks. Go and ask your parents because this helps you, right? You need to be physically fit in order to do what you want to do in life. It's not only sports that I'm talking about. You need to study. You need to become a big person. You can't just keep on studying because your body is not a machine. You need to have good rest. You need to study when you have to study, and you need to take care of your body. I have been as chief guest to many, many schools in Chennai. I always tell the children, please listen to your parents. Have healthy food. Because lots of small parents are taking them to the hospital and saying, my daughter's got diabetes, my daughter's obese, my son is like this. it is all because of your food habits, right? So when you start now, in the long run, everything will set in place. You will not have any side effects. You won't have to rush to the doctor. You don't have to be on medication if you take care of what you eat. See, everyone, we all know, we have learned it in school. It's just that we have to put it into practice. Simple. It's all in your mind.
Exactly, Mom. Whatever you told is so true.
Yeah.
I know it's bitter, to not eat junk food, but we need to, yeah, but the situations are like this, but we will all follow.
I guess it comes with age and experience. When I was your age too, I would like to bunk college. I would like to go out with my friends. I would like to eat on those chat stuff, but it just comes with age.
True. Age, patience, experience, everything has to come with this. Right. Thank you for this. Anyone else, guys? Do you have any questions?
Good evening, ma'am.
Yep.
Ma'am, of course, you told me that your first medal was about when you were 35 years old.
I can't hear.
What will you tell, like, the one thing which will pick you up from bed every day and do the training sessions properly?
Gayatri, I did not hear her question.
Pooja, can you be a little more louder? Ma'am is not able to hear you. You tell, or Ajita, you ask the question and pass on. Tell Pooja, be louder.
I'm asking the one thing which will pick ma'am up from every day in the morning and do her training sessions properly. Can be an incident or a motivational quote or a person, anything, ma'am. What's her motivation? The core source of motivation.
No, she's asking, Christy, she's asking what was the motivation on a day-to-day basis to make you get it from
why I'm not able to listen, ma'am? I'm not able to hear.
Can you hear me, ma'am?
Mute your mics. Ma'am, can you hear me? Christina, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Pooja is asking, what was your motivation on a day-to-day basis which made you get up in the morning and start all your training sessions? What was it that was motivating you?
Okay.
Was it your coach, your husband?
After 35 years, I didn't get up every morning for workout sessions because I had children and family issues, so many things. But in my regular category, at the younger stage, when I was like from the 11th standard, I have gone every morning. I used to go in the morning for an hour of practice, come back, get ready, go to school, finish all my work, again come back in the evening, go for 2 hours of training, and then come back and do all my homework and other stuff. Okay, so you're asking me what motivated me. See, in the beginning, you keep on losing when you go with your friends and they all outrun you, they all do better than you. And then you see one small medal, it's that small things, which, I can get one more of this. So that was the motivation for me to get up in the mornings. It is very, very difficult. Sometimes your body will say, no, I'm not getting up today. I had to get up at 5 o'clock and I had to go all the way to Tirisulam. Nowadays, parents are so good to their children. They say, please come, I will take the two-wheeler and drop. My dad did not have a two-wheeler. Neither did he encourage dropping, picking up, nothing. Everything was walk all the way from inside YMCA to the bus stop, take a bus and go. I have really struggled going for the workouts in the morning, going to the beach and coming back. It was very, very strenuous. But I persevered because I had the desire to win.
That's amazing.
Desire to win. Desire to win, attitude, perseverance, all these adds to the qualities of becoming a successful person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Anyone else, guys?
Ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, any funny incidents in your childhood, ma'am? Because in every biography movies, you can see some funny incidents on the player's childhood. Like in MS Dhoni, he will play football and came to cricket. In that light, which one changed you to athlete? Any funny incidents on that?
I told you right in the beginning, I was a very sick child. When I tell my friends, they say, really? You had wheezing and you ran. See, when I run, I used to hear my own breathing, like that. People with asthma will know when you run, it's like that. You cannot breathe. And if at all you breathe, it will be so loud. My ears used to be blocked with my own breathing. It's in fact, when I sit back and think of it, I don't know. My first sister was the smartest and she was the sharpest of all. I was the weakest. In fact, my mom told me that I was so small and she had a very bad pregnancy. And when I was born, she checked to see if I had all my toes and all my fingers, whether I was a normal child. So I was basically very weak and I don't know. It just turned around with my running and everything. So something funny, I really don't, I can't think of anything funny.
No, if I can interrupt, you told that you better would have got into cricketing arena. You told something of that sort to me on a casual note. Was that like your idea in your mind that you didn't like put in practice or something?
Yeah. That was, I really feel that sports people, especially athletes, are looked down upon. I really feel that way. We are not given any importance. We are not given the, recognition that we deserve. Many times I have wished that I should have taken up cricket or some other sport because, cricket is given so much importance and you win a tournament, you're treated like stars. Sad to say that after having won so many medals for Tamil Nadu state, all my medals are there in a cardboard box in the loft. I'm very grateful for this job, but the government has hardly done anything, nothing. I have not got anything. In fact, when we go outstation for competitions, we are supposed to get travel allowance and daily allowance. Even that, the officials used to, take and just give us half of it. I've been through a lot. I still remember my dad didn't have money to buy shoes for me in the beginning, at the start of my athletic career. So it was a very difficult childhood. Just with canvas shoes, I used to run. And I didn't have those spikes, you call it, with sharp nails that athletes use. I didn't have that. I didn't own a tracksuit. A lot of things, and only all my competitors, they all did better than me till I was 15. They all crossed 5 meters. I was the last one to cross 5. But when I crossed 550, all those who had crossed 5, I had beaten all of them. So it's a very gradual process. It's very, between 5 and 550, it's only this much when you measure in a scale. But when you jump, it takes time. It takes years together. So.
Well, that was actually emotional, not funny. So I would like to add that whoever is seeing here, you will always be remembered in our hearts, and we will always,
Exactly, I wanted to say this. You will be cherished by all of us. We will remember you long, because it was like watching a Dangal of Amir Khan.
Exactly.
It was like seeing MS Dhoni, seeing the movie of great cricketers, and reading all those. So because I wanted my students, my staff, and all the participants here to live this experience. And I think I don't know about others, but I personally traveled your journey lane from childhood till this day.
And I sincerely believe that my talk today, it would have encouraged at least one single student here. Even if it touches one student, it will make a lot of difference. So I hope that it has encouraged you all not to give up and strive for the best.
Thank you, Mom. Not only one, you can see a lot of it.
A lot. Yes, exactly.
Yes, Mom. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mom. This is the difference between when we're reading a blog about you and you saying your own story. It is really impacting.
Okay.
I don't think I will forget.
So actually, you can Google my name and see. I think you will have one Times of India report.
Yes, ma'am. I read the report today.
By Singapore, yeah, where I went in time for the event and I'm searching at the place and all of them talking in different languages, all of them from different countries. And they're calling. I can hear last and final call for long jump, and I don't know which stadium I'm standing in. It was crazy. I took the bag and ran. I'm asking these people, they are saying no English. Oh, it was so tense, believe me. When I actually reached the place, everyone else was warmed up and ready to go in. We had to travel, take the yellow line, purple line, all that in that country. We had gone one day before, but this was, I can never forget that unforgettable experience. I thought after all this training, they've already gone in, because they announced that the long jump is going to be in progress. And I thought everyone is gone in, and they were so strict. You need to have your ID card, you need to have this, you need to have that. They were checking, opening the bag and checking bomb detection, all that stuff happened. Namma country la adala nadakadu, don't worry. This was in Singapore, so they were very, very strict. Oh my God, I will never forget that. I went in and everyone it takes half an hour to warm up and do your exercises and get ready. Because once you go in, straight away you go, they will call the number, you just start jumping. And here I am, just reaching, but I ran. Warm up. So when I'm seeing all my competitors ready, it really puts you down, right? That was a shocking incident, but thank God, because they were very, very strict. In fact, I had taken my husband along with me because long jump is a technical event. And when you check, there will be 40 to 50 people from all countries keeping, marks in the long jump area. So if mine mixes with another person's, I'll be starting from her mark and I may miss out on, oops. Oh God. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Hari. So
Thanks
can
for
I
the share.
continue? Okay.
Thank you.
If I'm going to mix up on that mark, it means that I will not get the ball and it will be a foul jump. So it was very, very tense for me when they said that only athletes are allowed inside. No coaches should be anywhere near the stadium. So I had to tell one of my colleagues to just see where my mark is. And I don't know if it was intentional or unintentional. She told me the wrong place and I missed 2 jumps like that. And that is how I came 3rd in long jump. So for triple jump, I told another country person to just see and I got a gold in that. So such things, you practice so much here, but you never know what happens there. Recently, when I went to Kuala Lumpur for my Asian meet, after so much of practice, I go there, it's pouring rain. I'm requesting, I know I can win. I know my competitors because 2 years back, I have competed with them in China. But I'm requesting them, please wait. They're saying, we have been instructed to follow the schedule. We are going to keep it in rain. So my first jump itself, my spikes got soggy, sand went in, it opened up. So such things happen. I was sitting there and crying. I cannot ask anyone. See, everyone had another pair. I know it was foolish of me. But see, I don't like to spend much on myself now because in a few years, I'm going to retire. That is what I've told my children. I told my children, this is my last year. After the World Meet in Canada, I'm going to retire. Unfortunately, COVID came. And just when I'm going to book the tickets, the meet got cancelled. It is postponed to 2022. I don't think I'm going for the competition because it is too much strain for me. So I will be doing the Asian in December. It's supposed to be in Indonesia. So with that, I think I'll wind up.
We will pray for you that you attend your 2022 meet in Toronto. And I think group prayer will work. We will pray for your good health. And we are really feeling energized, motivated, listening to your life story, because only when people tell with that emotion, we will get that connect and we will also get inspired. So I think all the students would have at least, because if there is so much of silence, either they've understood you thoroughly, or I don't know what, they are in different world. But I think few, as you said, you have inspired a few at least, should be so. So I think Ajita, you can proceed with the questions, or we can move with the program.
Yeah.
We'll wind up.
Okay.
Any final question, guys? You can.
Good evening, ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
You have heard one. Yeah.
Ma'am, what for students? What should be our mentality after losing by inches? How you said you lost by 2 inches? How you
No, 2
overcome 2
centimeters.
centimeters?
2 inches now, I could have consoled myself. You 2 inches.
Okay.
See, 2 inches is this. 2 centimeters is this.
2 centimeters. How you overcome that situation and be
I
good in that?
I cried for a whole month.
No, he is asking you how they will recuperate and come back. Like they have to.
It is very difficult. My husband encouraged me. He said, "So what? Just 2 centimeters. Next year she will come. No, avula pota tallidla ni kavalaparada."
No, but for students who can be the motivating factor, or how can they self motivate themselves and rise up?
Like
Because they
many would give up. Many would give up.
Yeah, they are not even marrying each other anyway now. So you have to tell them that they can self motivate and rise up.
Self motivate. How do you self motivate? That I have to ask my daughter. Simply just, I think, reading biographies of great people who have achieved, I have a great liking for Abdul Kalam, Dr. Abdul Kalam, and even cricketers, I like to read up on them. So, or a movie, Vijay would a movie master, all of y'all are going and thronging the theaters and somehow getting the ticket. Neenga poringilla Kamal Haasan movie, Rajinikanth movie na adichu pudichu poringa. You try and read biographies of people that will really motivate you. You try and do that. I would encourage you to do that. I read a lot of books. I read about a lot of people in my younger days. And the Galathala Sports Star was a very prized possession. Sports Star or a monthly magazine. I think it's a bi-monthly magazine. And yarada vechirnaangana adha eduthu I used to read about it. And the Carl Lewis was internationally, Carl Lewis was my idol. He was a sprinter and a jumper, and he was amazing. So and the cutout la eduthu several la ottuva enga akka thittuvaanga. No other work for you. All these fellows and all you're putting up on the wall. When I sleep, when I get up, I will look at that. Then there was another German long jumper who won the Olympics, Heike Dressler. I think it was in the 1975. She won the Olympics. I'm not very sure of the year. She was also an awesome jumper. Ippo ungalku ellame videos kadekkudu, everything. But those days it was not like that. I used to read about her. We didn't have Google and all that. I didn't even have a computer those days. But they were my idols. Avaludia long jump Olympics mudichona Sports Star la or cutting madri vandu or article vandadu. I remember having a cutout of her also, and I used to visualize myself running and jumping and everything. So I can only ask you to read up on books of great achievers. Try and read up, though he's still alive, Tata, he's a very good example. Premji, Ashish Premji, you can read up on books of great personalities. I think that will, motivate you to, become like them and try to do something in life, something worthwhile. So you try to do that, okay?
Yeah,
Is that okay?
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I think so. They should have some role models and keep reading their biographies, or keep having their posters in their mobile phones and keep getting inspired on a day-to-day basis, so that they rise up like those personalities. I think that should be the solution for this.
Yes, ma'am, that's an easy solution.
Yeah, because when you get you see the person, you will remember all those facts and you will get inspired.
Yes.
So constant inspiration will keep on you will get.
True. Thank you. We'll all have role models and inspiration to go.
Can we wind up?
Yeah, okay. So I'll now request Ma'am Amudalakshmi Ma'am to give away the vote of thanks and we can wind up.
Good evening to one and all present here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Gratitude opens the door to the power, the wisdom, the creativity of the universe, said by Deepak Chopra. Good afternoon to one and all present here, honorable dignitaries and most valued guests. It's my privilege to propose the vote of thanks on behalf of this webinar on the topic, Life Skills for Success. Let me first of all thank the Almighty, the Creator, from the bottom of my heart for making today's occasion as a most successful event. For this, we are also blessed and thankful to God. We want to express our gratitude to our honorable chief guest of the day, Ms. G. Christy Starnia, the Superintendent of GST and Excise Tamil Nadu Zone, who has spared her precious time for us and graced this occasion with her presence. A warm thanks goes to Principal Sir, Dr. M.G. Raghunathan, for his vision and commitment to work and execute. We express our immeasurable gratification in thanking our Vice Principal Ma'am, Dr. N.C. Rajeshri, for providing support to us. She is so energetic, enthusiastic, and always actively takes interest. I extend our sincere thanks to our beloved Head of the Department, Ma'am, Dr. Gayatri Harikumar, for briefly about our guest speaker of the day, Ma'am, and for being our backbone in our endeavor and constantly motivating and inspiring us. Behind every successful program lies the manifold attempts to our committed faculty members. I would like to take a moment to acknowledge the immense contribution of our faculty members of our department. Finally, in the end, I would like to extend my wholehearted thankfulness to our illustrious students who always cater the needs of our expectations and who are the pillars of our strength. Thank you all for making this program a huge success. Thank you, ma'am. Really, tears only, ma'am.
Okay, I don't want any tears.
No.
I can't.
Ajita, can you ask if anyone else wants to come up with some questions, or are we done with the question session?
I think we're almost done.
Yeah. Okay. Is anybody having any question or anybody wants to ask anything, because we are going to wind up the session now?
Really good experience, ma'am. I can't say.
No. See, I don't get very emotionally drawn. Today I was emotionally moved. Like it was literally, I was watering. Because I have a passion for sports, so I can connect that feeling, that athletic, that test that you had, and that family conditions. So we are not of the same age anyway, but we are almost on par. So I can understand the family circumstances those times.
And I'm having two daughters like you, ma'am. The first one is very good in athletics. She's very good in running. She's studying 9th standard.
Actually, I wanted to just tell a small sentence about both my daughters. They were. It comes in the genes, India. Appa, amma, nalla sports panna, ponnunnu panna. They were doing very well in school level. They went for national representation also. But sad to say, I had to stop their athletic career because they were doing very well in studies. Those days, we could manage both sports and studies. Nowadays, once you go to college level, it becomes a little difficult. And as I told you, which I don't want any one of you to even think of, there were some drug abuse and other stuff coming into sports. So it was an uphill battle for them to fight against drugs and other stuff. So then me and my husband sat and we spoke and we decided that let them just give up their athletics career and move on to the academic. So they are doing well in studies. So you're not athletic. Please encourage her. Yes, if you get a good coach and if she is interested, let her do. But you have to make her understand that it is a very, very tough life out there.
Yes.
You have to make her really tough.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I've gone through a lot. If I'm going to tell about all the problems and troubles that I went through, it's not worth it, So I don't want to talk about the negativity or anything negative, but encourage her, but tell her it's very difficult. She has to be really tough, to overcome not only people who are taking drugs and other stuff. A lot more. There is so much of politics. There is so much of wrongdoing going on. To overcome all that and come is tough. But encourage her if she
is interested.
Yes, please.
Yes, will do, ma'am. Surely, ma'am. Okay. Thank you.
Right, as you said, you didn't tell any negatives, so that you told all the positives. So, but there are negative sides. Definitely, we should all accept in all the fields. Definitely.
Right. I think we can wind up the session with the national anthem. What do you say?
When the national anthem is played, I request you all to stand up. You can put your videos off and stand up, but it's respectful if you all stand up. Okay. And after this session, I don't want anybody to leave because I want to take a group photograph. Please don't leave. We will finish the national anthem and take a photograph. Right. Ajita, can you play that? National anthem?
It's actually playing. Can you hear?
No, I'm not able to hear. Nobody can hear, I think. No, nothing is heard.
No, actually it's playing.
Yeah. So shall we sing it off?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we will sing. Okay. Jana Gana Mana Hatinayak Jaya He Bharat Bhakya Vidata Punjab Sindhu Gujarat Maratha Dravida Utkala Banga Vindhya Himachala Yamuna Ganga Utsala Jala Taranga Tava Shubha Name Jake Tava Shubha Shisha Mage गाहे तव जय गाता जन जन मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
What you are standing, they can't see anything. It's okay. They told us to be there. Not to finish.
Yes, ma'am.
I think it was not a very pleasant national anthem anyway. Yes, sir. We will take a photo. Satish sir, Christy ma'am, that was Satish sir from Discom department was giving video support.
Hi.
So, very kind of you, sir. Thanks for streaming the entire thing live, sir. Very kind. Thanks to you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I will be very happy with this. You will take a photograph. Thank you, sir. Very kind of you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Right. Can we take a group photo, ma'am?
Please. Christy, I think somebody should be ready with finance to take a movie on you. Christy Starina. The name of the movie.
Upcoming movie.
Yeah.